Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, this is the war map. This is what Russia is looking at when they're in the process of setting up and taking over the Middle East. They've already built alliances with the Iranians. They're going to reestablish Iraq. They're going to establish Assad and put him in as the puppet in Syria. And they're going to reestablish Libya. And that's down here in, of course, Tripoli. This whole situation is beginning to develop. Now, first of all, I want you to know something. Everywhere you see the gray, that is ISIL-controlled territory. Right here, they took over this city in Syria and slaughtered, I mean massacred Christians. Incredible massacre of Christians. They've done it everywhere. Okay, so they control quite a large swaths of land. There's no question about it. They have that under control. Meanwhile, the rebels, what we'd call the rebels, now this is John McCain's, the good guys that he found. Remember that? They're up here. Apollo is their stronghold. They're very strong. They got some of a stronghold just outside of Homs and Damascus. All right, so they've got just a little bit right in there. That would be the rebels, and that's who is supported by the United States of America. That is who President Obama is backing. Now, the Kurds, of course, are way up here. The Kurds are right up here, right on the border of Turkey, and they're also over here. And, of course, there was that ugly battle against ISIS for Kobane that the Kurds held off. And they've been battling ISIS all over this area to keep the Turkish spot. They've also got to deal with Turkey. The Kurds have to deal with Turkey bombing them every now and then when they're not supposed to be bombing ISIS. Okay, now, meanwhile, Assad controls all the territory you see in pink. All right? And Damascus, of course, is right down here and just off your screen. Let me see if I can show it for you. Okay. So you can see all the pink that's controlled by what's called the Assad armies or the Assad regime. And that's where the Iranians are now setting up shop along with the Russians. And they are going to then launch their air attacks upon the rebels. Not ISIS. Not ISIS. The rebels. Now the Alawites, they're basically right on the coast over here. And this is where the Alawites are. And that's they just control that little area there, but that's where the Russians have set their nuclear submarines and their battleships. They're setting them along that coast right there, which really gives them a strategic advantage for the entire nation of Syria. And then Hezbollah is in these little spots here, right just outside of Tripoli, also right down here along the border with Lebanon. Also, a little bit right here, just outside of Homs, part of Homs even, and a little bit down by Damascus. Okay, so this is Hezbollah control, again, along the border of Lebanon primarily. So that is that's Hezbollah. Now, what's really wild, if you go down here and look, and of course you got Turkey up here. Okay, so this is Turkey. You have the Lebanon area here, and then if you go down here, over here you have Iraq on this side of the Syrian border, and you have Jordan here, and then of course Israel is right in there, and Israel, of course, they know that right in the green, that's the Free Syrian Army, or what's called the rebels, that control along the border with Israel, but they have to also worry about Assad's air force and its ability to strike into Israel, and especially now that the Russians have set up shop in this area. And the Russians have set up their air base and have set up thousands of Russian troops, and thousands of Iranian troops are all right in that area along with Assad's armies. So you could basically say everything in the pink is no longer Assad's locations, but it's truly it's Russian and Iranians, and within 6 months, that's who will, I mean, without question. Now, here's what Russians Vladimir Putin is doing. He is attacking, but he's not sending airstrikes in to attack all of this land out here and these cities that are being wrecked, havoc that's being wrecked on them by ISIS. No, 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 no. No, he's bombing up here in El Papo. He's bombing these areas. So he's took the war immediately to the rebel armies, which are backed by the United States. Went right after them. Less than 48 hours after shaking Obama's hand at the United Nations, Vladimir Putin went right after, went for the jugular, and he will win because Obama has been once again outcrafted by Putin. Putin has made another strategic move by entering into Syria and catching America weak, anemic, and backing away. And so what Israel has to think about is 1 year from now, Israel can't even wait that long. How long does Israel wait for the Iranians to get their nuclear weaponry ready? I mean, how long does Israel sit back and wait before they have to go in and start bombing or preemptive strikes maybe against some of these forces that could threaten their existence? Israel doesn't want to go in and attack the Russians. That would be, insane. And according to biblical prophecy, they won't attack the Russians. They will get attacked by the Russians as they come over the Golan Heights. To do that, let me show you what's going to have to happen. For Russia to do that, so there you see Damascus, and this is why Damascus is already becoming a ruinous heap, because you have the Free Syrian Army right here, you have Assad's army, you have ISIS right here, you have the Iranians in here, you have the Russians in here, you have Hezbollah over here. I mean, this whole area is absolutely a ticking time bomb, and you have the Israelis down here who have got to protect their own borders here, and the Free Syrian armies here who probably won't attack Israel, not necessarily. But here's the problem: the Russians and the Assad's armies are right here at the door. I mean, seriously, they're at the door. So how long? What does Benjamin Netanyahu do? How does he protect Israel in this mess? So Putin's war plan is based right out of the Bible. If you read Ezekiel 38, he's literally fulfilling biblical prophecy. And that's why Isaiah 17:1, Damascus will no longer be a city, but will become a ruinous heap. It really is already. If you see the pictures of Damascus right now, it's not even functioning as a city. It's just a battlefield. It's crumbled. There's block after blocks after blocks, buildings, housing projects, office buildings completely just destroyed. It's just a pile of rubble, except for a small area in which Assad is hiding deep, deep, deep in a bunker. So this is where we're at, folks. It's right out of the pages of the Bible. We're watching Ezekiel 38 establish itself. All the main players are here. Ethiopia's here. Libya's here, ready to go. Turkey's already on board. The Iranians are locked arms, building their nukes, already in Damascus, already in Syria. The Russians are already in, the hook's in the jaw. All right? It's just coming together here. And we are moving like light speed in biblical prophecy. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to Bible prophecy. But I can tell you now that Boot Scootin' Putin has made his move, and Russia will not be leaving Syria anytime soon. The hook is in the jaw. Russia will not leave this region until the great battle of Gog and Magog. They're here to stay. They'll control the oil wells in the entire region and can manipulate the currencies or the price of oil, which can affect the economy. It will strengthen Russia. The bear is here to stay. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time.